Hey, what's up guys, Prabhat here. In today's video, I will be sharing my 2 months experience with the Pixel 3a. Since the Nexus 5, Google has been into the premium line of flagship smartphones with the best-in-class hardware and software. But that also meant it was priced along with other flagships. And just when the Pixel 4 was around the corner, Google came up with the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL. They are priced at $399 and $479 respectively. Now this takes me back to 2013 when the Nexus 5 showed us that good phones can be cheap too. And here I am sharing my experience with the Pixel 3a, which is a budget offering from Google. Firstly, let's look around the Pixel 3a. This phone looks really identical to its predecessor, the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL. You can barely spot a difference between the old guy and the new one. One thing's that different is the comeback of the headphone jack, which is a pleasant surprise. So are the specs inside and the materials used to build this phone. As the 3a is entirely made out of plastic, which makes this phone super light and comfortable to hold in the hands. The phone feels premium though, and no one can say it's made out of plastic just by looking at it. Talking about the performance, it is using the lower end CPU from Qualcomm, the Snapdragon 670 with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. Now, I know these specs sounds a little outdated, but since this is stock Android and the software is insanely well optimized, you will barely feel the lack of performance under heavy load. Everything runs smooth, even when performing heavy tasks like playing graphic-intensive games or switching constantly between apps. This is the phone that makes you forget about the specs and gets work done. Though there are occasional lags while taking HDR and portrait images, as you will have to wait a little to see the final result after you have snapped the picture. While we are on picture, let's talk about the camera. This phone outperforms even the flagships. As the Pixel phones are well known for its cameras, the main highlight of this phone is the price and the camera as well. Forget the price and the specs. This is the phone that takes better photos than most of those premium segment phones. And if you are posting the images from this camera onto your social medias, people will highly doubt it's coming from a $400 phone. It's that good. The pictures are so good, I'd buy it even if it were just a point and shoot camera. The thing is, we get the same camera from the Pixel 3 with the same 12.2 megapixel sensor, and let me just tell you that the pictures are fantastic. It does not require dual or triple camera setup to take amazing pictures. The pictures tend to be vibrant and colorful with tons of details, sharpness and just the right amount of contrast. The portraits are fantastic as well as the low light shots, as you can see in these sample shots. I was blown away by its low light capabilities. The night mode really helps in the low light scenarios, balances the highlights and the shadows really well. Like I said, I was amazed by its camera performance. The sample shot speaks for itself. Overall, the picture looks really good straight out of the camera. It feels as if they have been processed. The selfie camera is also good with great light adjustments and sharp details. However, the front camera struggles a little on low light, but you can also use the night sight mode to get the perfect selfies on low light as well. Moreover, it offers different modes to satisfy your shooting needs, and since it uses the same camera like on the Pixel 3, the quality is outstanding. Now let's talk about the software, and this is also a segment where Google has impressed me a lot. It's running the latest version of stock Android 9.0 and will be receiving updates alongside the Pixel 3 and the upcoming Pixel 4. As always, I love stock Android for what it is. It has a simple user interface with just about the right number of features that we actually use. I like the squeeze feature that launches the Google Assistant, which is super handy. Also, a quick tip here is that you can just squeeze the phone and simply ask your assistant to open apps or perform other tasks like turning on the flashlight, making phone calls, turn on and off the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc. We also get new features with Android Pie like the easier volume controls that pops up right next to the volume keys, which also makes it super easy to switch between sound profiles. And then there's dark mode that helps you save battery as well as it looks good and helps in the nighttime. The Playmoji is fun with kids, where you can have these cute AR emojis while taking pictures. Plus, the ability to use the phone in landscape mode is super cool. With these specs and the software, the phone still manages to run throughout the day with 10 to 20% of juice left at the end of the day. It is backed up by a 3000 mAh battery which you can fast charge. My usage includes constant switching between social apps, lots of messaging, Bluetooth to play audio while driving, the Wi-Fi and 4G is always on, and I frequently watch YouTube videos and read articles on different websites. The screen on time is usually between 5 to 7 hours, 5 hours on heavy usage, and if you cut down on some tasks, along with power saving mode, you can squeeze in some more screen on time. I was actually surprised by the refinement of the software and how much this phone offers at such a low price point. So where did they actually cheap out on? Well, as I mentioned earlier, this phone has the lower specs, which does mean it has few drawbacks like the lack of wireless charging, no IP rating, no 4K recording, and not as smooth as flagships while opening demanding apps and games. Also, I felt the speaker isn't loud enough, but I'm just nitpicking here. By the way, the single bottom firing speaker combined with the earpiece speaker does the job well while consuming media or gaming. The G AMOLED panel is also surprisingly better than what I expected, with rich colors and details, and also the sunlight visibility is decent, not as good as the flagships, but it's good. The fingerprint and everything in general is super smooth, no lags and jitters anywhere, never felt restricted in terms of day-to-day usage. So to conclude, I have used other phones at similar price range like the Pocophone F1 and the Redmi K20 Pro. Generally, it's about what you want out of your device or what's your priority. So for me, Pixel 3a is the best phone if you're looking for the best camera and overall a balanced performance. Well, that was it for this video guys. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more and I will catch you guys in the next one.